Every single one of you watching this video has heard the statement, if you try your best then you'll succeed. The thing is, many people fail to do this, and many people fundamentally don't understand why they can't do the work required to get them to where they need to be. This can apply to business, but really any field of life, whether you have that test coming up that you need to work towards, whether you have that business plan that you want to do, or whether you have that art project that you just cannot finish. Everybody struggles to a degree to do the work that they need to do. But the thing is, once you understand why this is and how you can improve, you will be unstoppable, because the thing that separates 90% of people from their dreams is their level of work. We live in a fair and equitable society to a degree, which means that you can be what you want to be, and the only thing that's really stopping you from that is yourself. So how do you get over this? Well, that's what we're talking about in this video. We first need to understand though why people struggle to actually work hard, and why the actual important work is something which people just cannot do. If you ask me, there's one very obvious reason to that. It's because when you think about doing the work that you need to do, you know where it gets you. It gets you to that next level, and it doesn't matter what field it is in. Your work is going to help to advance you, whether that's in the process of actually getting to where you need to be, or just the process of learning, because you do even learn from your failures. You know that you're going to gain something positive by trying and putting in the effort. But I think the reason why many people struggle with this is because it requires a lot of effort to actually get there. On top of that, they're already in a place of comfort. Most people understand that their life is a certain way, and most people are fundamentally happy with that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but comfort is not necessarily always a good thing, as it can breed an environment where you're not willing to try anything new. You need to understand that when you push yourself to a new level, your experiences are going to be completely different. Your ideas of fun is going to change. Your ideas of hard work and your perception is all going to change. And that's not a bad thing. But that's a whole thing that you need to kind of grasp, and it's very hard to do so. So how do you get rid of the whole mindset that you've had for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? How do you get rid of that in the whole process of trying to improve and evolve? It is hard, but once you understand that that's what's holding you back, the fear in a way of trying to do something new, you'll be able to expand and grow. I think on top of that, a big thing is self-doubt. People don't really believe in themselves to a place where they should. Obviously it's hard to do this in some fields, especially when you don't have the confidence. But just remember, confidence is more like competence. You're only going to be confident if you know that you can do something, and that again comes with experience. So the more you try, the more you fail, the more you will ultimately win in the long run. And I think that's what it all boils down to, right? It's a case of, you know that it requires a lot of work, you know it's going to change who you are, but mainly in a good way, but you also understand that it could encompass some failure. And realistically, there isn't a thing wrong with that at all. We all have to fail on the road to success. Every single day we have wins, every single day we have losses, and that is completely fine. But many people don't like to understand this, as after a couple of losses, because you won't likely hit it first time, after a couple of losses people just want to give up and they don't want to continue. And if you ask me, again, that comes from a place of comfort, because you know that you don't really need to work that hard. You are comfortable where you are, but you're not really at that level that you want to be at. If you push yourself, you could be one of the best in your field or whatever you're trying to do, but it's very hard for people to actually grasp that concept. Once you do though, you understand why it is so important to start working, and then you have to ask yourself, how can I maximize my working efficiency? And that's a really good question, because depending on what you want to work on, it is going to vary, but there are some fundamental principles to hard work that can be applied to any sort of field. The first one, of course, is learning. You have to keep learning, always keep learning. It doesn't matter if you're in business, it doesn't matter if you're in art, it doesn't matter if you're in science or anything like that. Once a mind is closed, there's basically nothing more that can be done. When your mind is open, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what stage of your career or life you are at, you have the opportunity to keep learning. You need to understand that there are people out there who know more than you, and you can learn from these people. It's not a bad thing that someone knows more than you. You should just aspire to be like them and know as much as you can about as much as possible, as that is always going to put you in good stead. So learning is one of the best things that I personally would recommend. No matter what you want to do, it's always going to help to advance you in some way. So if you've got an open mind and you're ready to learn, then what else do you need to do? The best thing that you can do, especially in this day and age, is minimize your distractions, as we all know that they are everywhere. from the internet to social media apps that come along with it. There's so many things that grab our time and take away from our day. Before long, hours have passed and you've spent all day scrolling TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, or something alike. It's been a waste of a day and you've achieved nothing. You need to understand how precious every single minute, every single second is. And with that time, you can continue to grow and spend that time researching, learning, and obviously working on your projects. It's all a mindset thing and it's really that simple. The reason why you struggle to put the effort in is because you understand it requires such a mindset shift, such a physical and fundamental shift, that's just incomprehensible. But if you understand that where you are right now is not where you're meant to be, where you are right now is not where you're meant to end up, you'll understand what is required to do it. And you probably already do, but you'll understand why it's so very important to actually start working on that mission, on what you should be. So hopefully this short video works as some sort of inspiration. Remember, you can be anything you wish, but you do need to learn and understand that. As you would somewhat expect from the previous content on my channel, this video was focused around concept for business, but I wanted to make something which is all encompassing and can apply to any element of life. It really is common sense and you can learn this at any age. The person who puts in the most effort, the person with the most open mind, is always going to be the person who learns the most. So try new things, keep learning and keep experimenting, and you will succeed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in our next one.